Okay, then what does our state apparatus, what is next for us? My views, I know you don't agree with my views on this. My view has always been very consistent. I feel that there is no long-term solution for the non-Muslims in Bangladesh, no matter how much we try to push this. I'm not saying a kinetic action, but we'll have to break Bangladesh. In the long run, India has to break Bangladesh. I know
See,
India doesn't like
breaking,
crossing that Rubicon.
look, here's the issue. You break Bangladesh as you put it. Where is the Hindu majority concentration?
Nietzsche. That is a problem. I accept.
Right? Uh, no, look, ultimately, you have to change your laws so that whichever Bangladeshis want to, Hindu Bangladeshis want to come here, they should be able to come here. This is my only issue with the CA NRC thing, that it had a cutoff date. It should not have a cutoff date.
Hmm.
People who want to come need to come whenever they want to come, because the persecution is ongoing. It's not like the persecution ended in 2009. I don't know what the cutoff date in those pieces of legislation are, but they need to be allowed to come whenever they come.
The cutoff date
Pakistani,
has been changed, Abhijit.
acha too.
नहीं अभी CAA में open कर दिया. They have
Okay,
done
very
it.
good, excellent. So good. So they can come. That really is your only solution. Now the issue is all the Bangladeshis that you have detected. You had a golden window of a hostile government in which you could have deported them. You did not deport them.
Hmm.
So, we had, I know you people in Bombay didn't have to endure it, but in Delhi, we had to endure 1 year of those pigs sitting and blockading that bypass and creating a traffic nightmare.
Steinbach.
Shaheen Bagh pigs. Now, we had to endure that for nothing. At least with the farmer laws, they're all being introduced by the back door. With this, they're not even being introduced by the back door.
Hmm.
You very clearly have a Bangladeshi problem. And who actually said ki this whole Bangladeshi thing, we have 20 million Bangladeshis? It wasn't a BJP guy who said it. It was Shashi Tharoor who said it in his book. The number was given by Shashi Tharoor.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, you need to start acting on these things now. The SIR, and mark my words, Kushal, when I say this SIR exercise in Bengal is going to change nothing. The BJP does not get Bengal. It will change nothing.
Why?
And so to get into my Panotti mode, BJP is going to win a massive victory, bro. They're going to win like 20,000 seats. You'll be thinking, bro, what is this fellow saying? There is only 200 odd seats, 280, 90 seats in the Bengal assembly. What is this fellow saying? But you won't believe me. The mandate of the people will be so for the BJP in Bengal that they will win, they will in fact win 25,000 seats. And they will have to build a whole new assembly building. They'll have to turn the football stadium into the assembly building. And that is where the assembly will be held. You will see the ECI itself will then declare there will be 20,000 seats, 25,000 seats. It might even be 28,000 seats. It might even be 30,000 seats. But the BJP does not get Bengal. Let us be very clear about it. Going in there sporadically, you have to be in Bengal. You have to be willing to shed blood. You need to be willing to fight. Understand. Think of it this way. I am your problem statement in Bengal. Because all said and done, as much as I detest the AITC, All India Trinamool Congress, I love Mamta Di. Okay,
For what?
it actually feels like treason voting against Mamta Di, because people don't realize how much worse it was under the communists. And she got rid of the communists. She stayed there. She is not a temporary politician like Rahul Gandhi, who will leave when she is the type when the need, she will go there. She will be there for every single party worker, high or low. You remember for that one police commissioner, she herself did a dharna in the middle of Kolkata to prevent his transfer or arrest or whatever it was. If you are loyal to her, if you are 100% loyal to her, she's 500% loyal to you. She got rid of the communist. People have forgotten. I have not forgotten what communist rule in Bengal was like. You think Bengal today is bad? You have no idea how much worse it was under the communists. So you may not like the TMC, but you can't get rid of Mamta Di from the hearts and minds of the Bengali people. Okay, what are you going to do? If you have temporary people who buzz in and buzz out for a political rally, you have to be there. You have to be there 24/7, 365 on the streets if you want to win Bengal. And I'm sorry, in the last 5 years, the BJP has not done that at all. It has not done that. So if you think you're going to win Bengal, congratulations to you. I also say you're going to win 30,000 seats, 32,000 seats. In fact, I'm 100% guaranteed they will win 1 lakh seats in the assembly.
No, but see, that is not a solution. I believe eventually, see
You
what
don't
the
have.
BJP.
So here is the problem statement. Most of eastern West Bengal is now a Muslim majority.
Mhm.
Murshidabad, it when partition happened, Murshidabad was about 48% uh, Hindu, was 48% Muslim, and therefore it came to India. In the first census itself, it had become 53-54% Muslim. Today, it is about 62 to 68% Muslim. Now, given equivalent fertility rates, how is that happening? Clearly, it defies logic, right?
Mhm.
Now, in Assam, which has a very activist and a good chief minister, you're still not able to control the infiltration. You're still not able to identify who is not a local. Bengal, Assamese Muslims themselves there are pissed off because they keep saying Bengali, Bengali. What they actually mean is Bangladeshi.
Yeah, that's just like colloquialism for them.
Yeah. And they want those Bangladeshis out. By 19 districts of Assam have become Bangladeshi majority. Now, assume right now that the Bangladeshi population of West Bengal is around 48-49%. For you to win the election, your problem statement is you have to win all the remaining 52% of the vote. Because mark my words, none of that 48% are going to vote for you. It's a very simple statement. Now, what is the solution that the BJP has for it? I don't know.
No, but why do you assume that the SIR is not going to deal with these
So
problems?
SIR has identified 1.2 crore or 1.4 crore voters, right? Fraud voters or absentee voters or whatever. Remove that. So say from 48%, it's come down to say 38%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the people voting for you now are the remaining 62%.
Mm-hmm.
In 62%, you still, amongst that remaining 62% of Hindus, you still have to win 51% of the vote. How are you going to do it? Last time they thought using Ovesi, they will split the 48%.
Mm-hmm.
Ovesi performed very badly in Bengal. Ovesi has great utility performing vote cutting in different places. It does not seem to work in Bengal.
Till now.
It's still not working. See, because again, see, people again don't realize this in Bengal. Bengal is an extremely poor rural economy. थोड़े थोड़े चीजों से सब चीज बदल जाता है. Everybody is incentivized in a grand distribution system and a grand collection system. They don't know the alternative. You have to be there on the ground throughout. It has to be constant contact. It can't be sporadic contact. Where
Mm.
has Owaisi been on the ground in Bengal?
Yeah, he's not been there. He has no presence
Yeah.
in that sense. He has a presence in northern India, though.
And you have to understand here, this Urdu high culture thing that Owaisi represents, it works in the rest of India. It does not work in Bengal. Because Bengal, Bangladesh itself has a sense of high culture which is not Urdu. It is Bengali high culture.
Hmm.
Owaisi does not capture that mindset. He can't speak to that mindset.
Hmm.
Mm.
Let's see. I mean, we'll stick to the Bangladeshi bit, but what? Okay, I understand that whatever they are going to have these elections in February, if they do it or they don't, like we don't know. Um, what stops us? What stops India from interfering beyond the point and crossing the line? Like my whole my worry is, what if Pakistan or China arm Bangladesh way beyond a threshold? What if Bangladesh gets a nuke?
What if Bangladesh gets a nuke?
Yeah, but it's a
Yes.
legitimate question.
No, it isn't. It isn't. In this day and age, you can't get away with transferring nukes. Maybe if there's a global systems breakdown, that will happen. But right now, under current circumstances, that is not a possibility. Not that Bangladesh needs a nuke anyway. They have lots of other ways of doing things. But look, the first consequence of arming Bangladesh, they bought MiG 29s from Russia. They didn't have the money to be able to operate them even. Did you know that? They then had to
Mm,
settle for trainers, the Yak 130s.
okay.
They don't have the money to operate that kind of a military
Hmm.
to become a threat to anyone. So the
So,
only threat becomes subconventional.
so
Now, the
how the hell do
army,
they do it?
now here's the thing. So that is why I'm telling you that now the army, do you remember the revolt of the Bangladesh Rifles?
Yes.
They tried to remove the government. Now, for people who don't know this, go to Wikipedia and check. I know Wikipedia is bullshit in most cases, but Bangladesh Rifles Revolt. This was an early attempt to remove the government. Let me share the Wikipedia page. So you need to search for this and read this. In 2009, this happened. Um, it was crushed, and the Bangladesh Rifles was removed. Right. And what happened with the Bangladesh Rifles was, if you remember much earlier, there was these horrible pictures of Indian troops that had been killed on the border, and they were being handed over like you would a sacrificial goat back to India. That was all Bangladesh Rifles. They've been dismantled completely. Now the army remembers what the Bangladesh Rifles did. They are not going to allow the creation of militias that threatens its power hold. Because they know, given the riverine territory, you can't do swift military maneuvers. It will most probably get into a civil war situation. The Bangladesh army is not going to allow its power to get diluted. So you understand, even the Bangladesh army, assume tomorrow it wants to do something against India. It doesn't, but anyway, tomorrow assume. There's lots of these conspiracy theorists who go around telling you, oh, Waqar Uzzaman is going to get removed from power. His next in command is plotting. He's going to get killed. Blah, bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. Uh, Not happening. Even assume worst case scenario, every conspiracy theory comes true, and that does happen. The impulse does not change. What army chief is going to create an alternative center to his own power that is armed?
Okay, fair enough. My whole thing is that eventually, what um, we know, the Pakistanis actively involve themselves in jihadi activities in India. Considering the turn of events in Bangladesh, now under Sheikh Hasina, we know that she was controlling the hardline elements, and It's never zero. So like before people say, oh yeah, ek anecdote nikala. No, it's never zero. But
Hmm.
by and large, Sheikh Hasina had her control over these elements. And when you control these elements, they also don't do shit in India. Now, under this government, which is clearly hostile to India, we run the possibility of jihadism not only stemming from Pakistan domestically, we also have jihadism now from Bangladesh.
Hmm.
Now that's a lot of um, pressure on the Indian state apparatus. So how do you manage this?
So remember, this, going in for coups and things, it produces short-term satisfaction. It gives you no long-term results. Remember, America tried the Mossadegh coup in Iran, and look what they ultimately ended up producing. Iran is now a much bigger threat to America. Ultimately, we need to remember, this is what, the mindset is what Benito Juarez, who is the president of Mexico, used to say about America, that America's great tragedy was that it was so far from God and so close to America. Every small country around a big country has huge problems with it. They try to blame them for everything. Tell me, how is it any different from India trying to blame America for everything that goes wrong? Indira Gandhi used to call it the hidden hand. You have a whole bunch of conspiracy theorists who see America in everything that happens in India. CIA ne karvaya, CIA ne karvaya, CIA ne karvaya. Not the case, right? Uh, you've you've realistically done what you can do. Ultimately, this has to be a situation in which, when you build redundancy, when the government goes against you, you shouldn't be like America and make it in a situation where the enemy becomes implacable and can't build bridges anymore. Okay, Maldives. Remember, everyone was going hammer and tongs at Muizu. Muizu ka kya hua? Muizu had to come to Delhi and kiss hands and make up. No, everybody said, "Oh, there's a communist that's been elected in Sri Lanka. What an absolute disaster!" What happened with Sri Lanka? He's probably the most pro-India president we've had in Sri Lanka in a very long time, and he's a bloody communist. थोड़ा सा फेथ रखो. देखो, हम घोंचू हैं, ठीक है, हम चूतिए भी हैं, पर हम इतने महाचूतिए भी नहीं हैं. कुछ तो पता है भाई हमारों को. We are doing the right thing. You never push people beyond their dignity. Pakistan is doing things very openly. It is going to ricochet back. Tell me, Sheikh Hasina, once she gets back to power, what do you think she's going to do to the Pakistanis in Bangladesh?
Do you think she'll be back to power? Do you think she even wants
100%.
to go back?
Boss, she's coming back. She's coming back because, again, people don't seem to realize West Bengal and East Bengal, the kind of all pervasive control that Mamta built, is what Sheikh Hasina has been building for the last 15, 20 years in Bangladesh. Understand, it is not a dictatorship. It was a situation where everybody was incentivized in the system. Okay. There is no way she cannot come back. Or her party, at least. Maybe under her daughter or son or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, what do you think the Awami League is going to do when they come back to power?
Oh, there will be hell to pay for the
On the
opponent.
other hand, even with Yunus, even with Khalida Zia, how much can they ruin the relationship with India? Why? Because we've not interfered openly. And it's not been interference, it's just been passive non reaction. Pakistan, on the other hand, is interfering very, very openly. I won't be surprised if they invoke a second treason act and throw the entire Jamaat-e Islami in jail and have them executed like she had all her father's killers executed.
One killer of her father is in Toronto.
I know. He's leading quite a
बी-
posh, plush life in Toronto.
20 साल से है उधर, 20 साल से.
Hmm. And very
So
comfortable in a very posh neighborhood in a very posh house,
yeah,
flat.
it's okay. It's it's okay. But yeah, the gentleman stays there, and it is what it is. But
Hmm.
from what I understand, her son said that I have zero interest in Bangladesh. He to even said they can go to hell. They, as in the Bangladeshis.
Okay, so this is something you have to realize. When you want power, you never say you want power.
Mm.
Okay, there was a big difference between Tiberius and Augustus. Augustus was the most power hungry, crazed schizo to ever rule Rome. But nobody in Rome ever thought he was a power hungry schizo, because every time what they killed Julius Caesar for, Augustus took a lot more of, but he made the Roman people believe that it had to be offered to him. He was a Mahatyagi. He did not want power, and every time it had to be offered to him, and he would have to refuse it. Now, the son, I think he's made a mistake by saying what he said further on. I think it was stupidity and not Augustan renunciation. The daughter has said nothing of the sort. And the daughter, in fact, is preferred, much like Priyanka Gandhi is preferred. I want people to realize Rahul Gandhi runs off in the middle of a parliament session for a tour of Germany, telling you that his tour of Germany is more important than the Indian parliament. He says manufacturing is dead in India, but he runs an Indian manufactured BMW bike in BMW World. Hmm? And when he's away, Priyanka is able to sit down with the BJP, have a normal, lovely conversation, which made us all smile. As long as the Khadoos isn't around. You understand the venom is being entirely injected by this Khadoos sitting in Germany. The moment the Khadoos goes out, everybody is able to have a perfectly normal political relationship.
It shows
Same
what
thing.
his advisors are.
Shows you. But see, he chooses his own advisors. You have to remember that.
Mhm.
You have to remember that. So this is something very classic out there. The boss, look, every time you think India has lost in the neighborhood, where the house can't lose. अफ़गानिस्तान में सब बोल रहे थे, हाय हार गए, हार गए, हार गए। मैं हमेशा बोलते रहा हूँ कि भई हारने पर भी आप हारोगे नहीं। और देखिए अब तालिबान
Mm.
आर आवर बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स, दे आर progressive, liberal, secular feminists in the
Mm.
Afghan cultural milieu, of course. So they're highly secular. I know them perfectly well. Uh, uh, I can personally vouch for their secularism and their feminism. Why are you
Very
laughing?
good. Very good.
Did you
But
see
last time
any
also,
American State Department guy laughing when they call Al Jolani a moderate?
yeah, yeah, I know. No, no, Trump. You don't need to laugh when Trump says something. Trump says something absolutely batshit crazy himself. वो पागल आदमी है. Trump is a kook himself. So don't tell me Trump पागल है. ट्रम्प पागल खुद है और हमेशा से रहा है. अच्छा, मेरे को अभी 2-3 और क्वेश्चन थे इसके बारे में. Why am I the only one who always believes we should go after Bangladesh? Tell me. Why am I the only one? I am so keen to go after Bangladesh. Like, okay, I'll explain my position. I believe at the end of the day, the Hindus of Bangladesh, right, they have no option. Like, if you look at it from a very rational point of view, and when you look at their situation in that society, they really have no place to go. Yeah, we
Yes.
either.
Look, the only thing we can realistically do is enact laws to facilitate their coming here, have a scheme, an equivalent scheme of education where their education will be recognized as equivalent, and for them to get placement and jobs immediately on arrival.
I
And for
get
them,
that, but I get that, but
look,
we also
if you
need to
want,
take some
we can't keep
land from
intervening.
Bangladesh.
No, you can't. You can't.
But why?
You can't. In this day and age, it is impossible to do that. Maybe in the 40s, 50s, 60s, you could have done it. Not anymore. As long as the Cold War was around, you could have probably done it. Since then, you can't. You can make independent states like America has done with Kosovo and things like that.
Hmm.
But land grabs, forget about it.
What
There
would
was a
be a
time for
Hindu?
it, not anymore.
And now you have given me a good idea. Now I need to think of Hindu Bangladeshi name.
But where?
We
Because
want.
the Rangpur salient is Muslim majority. The Chittagong salient is Muslim majority. The Sylhet salient is Muslim majority. तो बचा क्या है boss? कहाँ करोगे? This is why I asked you, where is the local majority?
Yeah, it really will need a population movement,
Now
mass
remember,
population
this
movement.
is something very important that happened in partition. In Punjab, when the population exchange happened, people did not come back. In Bengal, when the population exchange happened, the Hindus who came here remained here. But the Muslims who went there, almost everyone came back. Do you know that? They all came back.
They're like, screw that. We don't want to live with the Urdu speaking Muslims.
Yeah. They didn't want to live with Urdu speaking Muslims. So what do you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. You mentioned Mahua Moitra. I
I
have
never
to play
mentioned
this.
Mahua Moitra. I said Mahua is a very common name amongst Muslims in Bangladesh who tend to take Hindu names.
Okay, very good. What do you think about Mahua?
Who tell me one thing? I have a border constituency. Who wants to live in India now? I have Kushtia on the other side and Nadia. The GDP, the health indicators, and a lot of things in Bangladesh are actually better. Please let Narendra Modi and Amit Shah get this out of his head that the whole world wants to come and live in India.
She disagrees with you completely.
So I'm a great fan of Honorable Srimati Mahua Moitra ji. As you know, she is
Uh,
Sakshat Durga upon earth. She is the incarnation of Ma Kali upon earth. In fact, I know the reason Mamta Di hates her is because everybody in the party wants Mahua to become the chief minister, and they want to get rid of Mamta Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, and they want to replace. Every time I go to Bengal, there are slogans of Mamta Hatao Mahua Lao, Abhishek Hatao Mahua Lao. So, I highly respect and revere Madam Mahua Moitra ji, and I think she's not only a future chief minister of Bengal, I think she will take over the TMC. I also think she's a future prime minister of India. So I support her 100%.
ओ शिट, ये तूने क्या वीडियो बनाया है एएनआई पे? मैं अभी आया, मेरे अभी आया आगे, मैं सच में चले गई क्या तू? ये क्या है ये वीडियो? ओ माय गॉड, they made
What is this
Sushant do
video?
the circuit DDLJ. Oh my god. Anyways, let's focus. Abhijit, can and will India do something like Operation Solomon and Moses for Hindus stuck in Bangladesh?
No, we won't. We never do that kind of thing, and we won't be doing it anytime now.
Interesting. देख किसी और ने भी पूछा, do you think Bangladesh can go nuclear using the Rangpur nuclear facility? I know you will laugh, but we were able to fool Americans. Can't they fool us also? They have the intent, but what about capability? It's a good question.
Yeah, but look, Rangpur is, you realize it's an Indian operated reactor. The Bangladeshis don't have the expertise to operate it by themselves. So it's Russian built. Go read the agreement, the trilateral agreement. It was built under a trilateral agreement where India does the training and the operations, and it is slowly handed over time back to the Bangladeshis. In fact, the training schedule is way behind. We've still not been able to train up all the Bangladesh because they've not been able to supply us the requisite workforce for us to train up and for them to take over that reactor. Also, please understand, the Rangpur nuclear reactor has been built under very heavy international safeguards. It is also a what you call a proliferation proof reactor. Okay. Second, remember, building a nuclear bomb isn't very difficult these days. It is 1940s technology. So the technology is about 80 years old. The issue is making it stable. The issue is making it secure. The issue is the industrial footprint required to build it, which is very easily detectable. So even if they go down the nuclear path, you're going to have 10, 15 years of heads up, because you can't mask the preparations. The whole reason the Iranian nuclear program was detected is because there are industrial facilities which are very specific to weapons, which simply cannot be hidden.